What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 15 of Hi, Nice to Meet You. As always, I am Justin. I know it's been a while. I've been kind of busy just working and just recently found out I'm going to be a dad, which is like, well, not recently, but people know about it now, so that's kind of cool to talk about, but that's not why I'm here. Tonight's guest, I was just on this dude's show semi-recently, about a week ago. Had a lot of fucking fun. He's the host of multiple podcasts, including just regular Zero Supervision podcasts, Zero Supervision Comics, and the one that I was on, Zero Supervision Weed, which we had a lot of fun on that show. Go listen to that shit. It's my dude Joe. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. That show hasn't launched yet. It's going to be launching the next week. And
Listen
it's
to it when
going
it
to
launches.
be basically everybody who's coming at me on Reddit who says that they wanted to be on an interview. I'm having them on the show. And it's been great so far. I've had a lot of great people come on. They always have interesting stories, especially about their drug use and their different activities they've had, and then all the stuff that they're into as hobbies and all as well. So that's been a lot of fun. And of course, like, me and him had a lot of fun talking. And then we even did some of the questions on there. I'm going to do two different questions that I'm sure not going to do tonight. And they were awesome questions too. So
Yeah, man, I definitely had a lot of fun on the show being on there the other night. So, like I said, when it drops, definitely listen to the show and support the podcast, dude, because, there's a ton of podcasts out there, and a lot of them are garbage, but a lot of them are really, really good. And, it's important to support podcasters. I know there's fucking a billion of us, but,
yeah. I'm super excited to do the show, too, because, like, I think the concept's really fun. It's like park game show almost, like pick a good number and find a good question and then, answer one. And it's just, I'm excited to do it, Just for everybody's knowledge today, I'm going to be using the number generator. So that's where the numbers are coming from. They have no meaning, Yeah.
Perfect. All right, well, I just want to give everybody a really quick breakdown. If this is your first time listening to the show, firstly, thank you very much. Secondly, rate, review, subscribe, because that really does help the show. Thirdly, this is how the show works. So I've been away for a little while. If you notice, the show has a new updated cover art. It's also now going to be the first show with an intro. Shout out my buddy Pat. I will plug him at the end. I love you, bud. He's the one that made the intro music. But the last time I did this show, there was 140 questions. Now there's 445. So I've been a little busy, just kind of focusing on the show, but also just kind of focusing on everything else. But Joe, if you're ready, dude, we can jump right into your first question.
All right, let's go.
Random number generator.
Question, number 80.
Number 80. All right, let's see where we're at. Man. Number 80. What's the most... Oh, no, never mind. Oh, yeah, this one's great. This is pretty pertinent to what we were talking about on your show. What naps are the most satisfying?
Okay.
I have to say, I mean, it's a cop out, but it's just like a nice weed nap.
A nice weed nap. There's always a good weed nap out there. But you know what I really like is I have cats, and I have one he's my really good buddy, Gus, and me and him will take naps together, and he stretches out and like hugs me, and like we fall asleep, and that's just really nice because like I go to sleep to him purring.
Yeah, dude, falling asleep
that's
like
because of the weed.
Yeah, man. I mean, like falling asleep with your animals is always nice though. Like my dog,
So nice.
he sleeps in bed with my wife and I every night, and it's like he's either against my wife or he's, wherever. Like if my skin's exposed, it's like all of a sudden I'll just feel like this like weight just kind of like slam against my back, and it's like, oh well, dog's here. And it's like he doesn't go anywhere until maybe 5:30 in the morning. So
Yeah.
it's like right as I'm about to get up anyway, he kind of knows the drill. But yeah, dude, like pet cuddle naps are fucking dope.
Yeah, my wife sleeps with him every night because he doesn't trust me at night because I will roll over and too much for him. Like I'll roll over from one side to the other, and he gets annoyed with that, so he'll leave me and go lay with her. But we have a couple other cats, and some of them like laying with me, and some don't. I
Hey,
move
man.
around a lot in my sleep. But that's really satisfying, I think, and it feels nice afterwards. I wake up and they're still there. I'm like, oh, they actually do love me, and it's not just for the food.
Yeah, exactly. There's like some sort of actual connection, not just like you said, like the hand that feeds.
Yeah.
But all right, man, cool. So we can move on to the next one if you want.
Cool. Let's do 353.
353. All right, these are all new. Like I put these in, but I haven't reread any of these, so these are going to be new for me as well. So, 353 is... can you impersonate anyone famous?
Ooh.
I used to do a really good Christopher Walken, like years ago.
Oh, let's hear it.
Oh, no, I don't do it anymore because it's garbage. But
no, you still gotta do it.
Oh man, I've lost the edge to do it. Because I was in a band and we were at the studio and I just like kept going off on these tirades where I'd be like, Christopher, not knocking while you're jacking off in the bathroom. Like that was like the best that I could do. But like I used to do that shit like all the fucking time, so it used to be better. But I think that's probably my best famous person impression.
I got Arnold, gotta get to the chopper.
Dude, his is always fun to do.
I'm trying to think of somebody else who's got a very distinct voice. I
mean, like, I like to do, like, one-word impressions of, like, Johnny Carson, or just go, like, weird.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Wow. Wild.
Really
like, shit like that. Yeah, like, it's just, like, he's super easy. It's, like, just, like, you just need to learn how to say one word, and everybody's like, oh, it's fucking Johnny Carson. It's just
fucking
wild.
I would do Tom Cruise, but all that would be is me just smiling really big and fucking laughing like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Fucking... Who's got a good voice?
It doesn't really translate over the audio medium that we're on. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, right?
You know, shout out Tom Cruise, though, for...
for being extra crazy. And also, he's talking about doing a movie in space. The first movie in space.
Dude, he's like 5'6". Like, Tom Cruise shouldn't be going to space.
He's the same age as my mom, but he's got like... He looks really good. And he's going to be going off into space like a psycho that he is. I mean, he's an adrenaline junkie.
Dude, if we send Tom Cruise to space to make a fucking movie, like, I might move somewhere else. Like, I don't know if I can handle just being like, oh, you're from America? Like, the country that sent Tom Cruise to the fucking moon to make, like, some Mission Impossible in fucking space. Like,
it's going to be is it's a Mission Impossible movie.
Of course it is.
That's the plan.
It's going to be like someone steal the moon or something?
No, I think it's going to be like there's missiles on a satellite or something probably, and then he's gonna have to like go into space to stop the rockets.
Dude, I hope that it's like a massive curveball, and then he just goes like, "Just kidding, I'm going into space to try to find like Xenu, the guy who stole all the fucking aliens for Scientology," and that's the point of the movie.
Throwing out some real
he thinks he's L. Ron Hubbard, and then he just goes off and like kills like some random alien.
Yeah, man. Fucking holy shit. Yeah, that'd be great.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. That's a movie I'd watch. I'm not really big on movies. I hate going to the movies. I really don't like watching movies all that often. Like, I'm 30. I just saw My Cousin Vinny for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
That's a good movie, though.
It is I had a lot of fun watching it. Joe Pesci's great. I love that dude.
Yeah.
And Marissa Tomei's fucking hot, so
yeah,
you know, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, still, even now, as Peter Parker's on, like, still does it for me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still a hottie, man. But
yeah, man.
Cool. All right. Well, we can move on to the next one if you want.
All right, 32.
32. All right. Okay, I still haven't done like a lot of these questions, which is nice because it's like a treasure hunt for me.
Yeah.
All right, this one's fun. Would you rather be covered in scales or covered in fur?
Fur. I don't want to be scaly. I've been scaly in the past. You know, when you get like. When you go sunburn and then you get the fucking like peeling skin and all, I've done that. I've been there, and I also have psoriasis, so I know
that's
like
not
their
fun.
Scaly skin.
Yeah,
so,
I had my scalp sunburned on my honeymoon,
and I've actually chosen to be furry because my face is. I got a big beard, I got body hair, I'm a hairy guy, so I kind of know what that ballpark's like. I do think that summer's gonna suck.
Like,
I'm
for sure.
not gonna do well in the summer.
No.
I'm gonna have a bad time, but. I definitely think I would have a following of like more furries. Like, I think that would really help the podcast.
Like, do you want furries as followers though? Like, is the thing? Because
I saw a thing. AdSense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got you.
I welcome the furry community as paying members on my Patreon. I welcome you.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I mean, like if they're opening their wallets, then you know, furries all the time. But exactly. You open your wallet, and I'll try to open my mind to people dressing in mascot costumes and fucking one another.
When I used to live in Virginia before I got married, and I used to go to this it's a BDSM club there called Fallout, I used to go there. They used to have play parties and stuff, and you see some crazy stuff. People dressed like furries. Saw some girls. The guy would take this like cotton swab that had alcohol in it and wipe it down their back, and then light it on fire, and then put it out. You whip.
That sounds super metal.
It's fucking. It is. Well, the club's a metal club too. Like they play industrial music the whole fucking time, and it's dark. The walls are painted black. Everything's like painted black. There's this big fucking X on the wall that has like handcuffs and ankle shackles. And there's hard points all on the ceiling and stuff, and it's and people do these play parties there, and on the weekends it's open to only members, and during the week it's open to these like different clubs, different sex clubs to come in and do their thing. But on the weekends when it's members only, it's almost like a dance place, but that you could have sex at.
Okay, that sounds. It
was a
pretty
very
cool.
It was main members only, and you had to like know somebody to be able to become a member. So you had to know a member to become a member.
Mm-hmm.
And I just so happened to know somebody that, yeah, man, you should join. I was like, sure, I'll join. And then I found out about the play parties and stuff. And at the time, being single and one to ready to mingle, I kind of just went there every weekend, and you would be surprised how often you would hook up at a sex party. It's weird. You just wouldn't think it, but it happens, and it was kind of fun. And I can now like go into my 30s without having a midlife crisis. So
well, that's good.
Nice.
That's not everybody can say that.
Midlife crisis. I guess the only midlife crisisy thing I could do is like I've never bought a sports car. So like maybe I'll do that. That'd be fucking dope. Like
yeah, man.
I'm like cool. I'm gonna go get a Charger.
There you go.
Sweet. Yeah, whatever. But like I don't have to worry about like feeling like I didn't live out my like 20s and stuff. I felt like I rode my 20s into the ground. I got through them good.
You experienced your 20s, it sounds like.
Yeah, I really I wore them in. They're good.
You got after it. It sounds like you got after it. I like that we got to there from would you rather be covered in scales or fur? That's why
it's furries. I
love
furries.
this
All roads lead to furries.
Yeah, I love that like we can go from like an obscure question to just like BDSM like fuck parties at clubs and like it's so nice to be back. It's so nice to be back in the friends.
It really is.
It's so good to be back. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on the fur. Living in New England and also having a sweating disorder kind of makes summer like the worst time of my life. Like I have to change like 2 or 3 times a day.
But furry animals don't sweat, so maybe we wouldn't sweat anymore.
Yeah, I mean maybe it would change I don't know.
Because cats don't sweat, and because they pant.
Yeah.
They would pant then.
That would be weird, just be panting as like a human.
Yeah, that'd be fucking weird.
Just like sitting at the bus stop, just like next to some guy, just like.
Well, I mean, you think about the fucking like, the sexual act, and you're sitting there, you're getting on with somebody, and in their ear. That's not very like very attractive. I think if somebody started panting in my ear, I'd be like, "You having a stroke? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, do I need to call someone? Like, do you need something? Perfect. All right, man. Well, cool. So.
187.
187. All right. Cause it's 187. If you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which one would you give up? This one, I remember writing this down and going, because I like a lot of the questions I wrote down, I wanted to make sure that I was also able to answer myself, because I don't want to just be like, whoa. But I remember writing this one down and going, fuck.
So I think years ago I would have said sight. And been perfectly fine with that, because I think that'd have been fine. But now, my life revolves very heavily around comics. I have a comic book podcast, and kind of killed that podcast, so I can't lose that one anymore. I'm gonna say taste, because I would be I'd have a 6-pack. I'd look so good, like because I'd never worry about eating bad food.
Exactly.
I couldn't stress eat. I wouldn't enjoy it. I'd be like, whatever, just give me the healthiest shit on the planet.
Doesn't matter, as long as it fills me up.
Brown rice and grilled chicken every fucking day for every meal. I would
just be jacked as fuck.
Yeah, I look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the only one I can go with. It's like, because the other ones, because hearing, I like music too much. I also do this. I do podcasting. Couldn't do podcasting anymore without hearing. Touch. There are more than one reason why I like touch. and also I think part of the drug experience somewhat is a body experience. I'm a fan of drugs.
Drugs are fun.
What other senses are we talking about? Like, I don't have like spider sense or anything.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, like I mean, for me, I mean, like, I guess
actually,
I would.
people who don't have the sense of up or down, so they
Yeah.
don't know if they're upside down or not. So I guess you could lose that. That'd be fucking weird.
Yeah, that would be odd. Just like,
if they
am
you're hanging upside down from the floor?
Yeah, that would be. I'd like to meet somebody that has that and like talk to them and be like, "Yo, dog, what's it like? Just like being gnarly."
There are people who are also there's several other kind of weird like things like where people can be face blind, like they literally cannot tell who you are until after you start speaking and they have context as to who you are, because your face means nothing to them. Their brain just can't read it. And then there's people who we were talking about the fucking the people who feel like they're upside down. They perceive that, and there's people that don't perceive pain at all.
Yeah, that's another one that I would like to talk to, is like people who don't feel like how terrifying that would be, but like also just
I wonder what else that affects though. Like, does that affect your ability to get stoned, or does it affect your ability to like feel hunger, shit like that? You know, is hunger pain? You know?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Like that, I think that actually from what I've like researched into that is like you do have to like just kind of force feed those people, because I don't think they naturally know it's like time to eat.
I know they have to check themselves like while they eat too, because they'll accidentally chew on their tongue or their lip or some shit and fuck their mouth up.
Yeah, man, that's another thing is like, you know, I've like seen like documentaries and like read shit, and it's like people that when they have the kids with this, it's like it's awful. It's like the kid could just run face first through a fucking glass door, and they'd be like
unfucking stoppable kid until like they pass out.
Yeah, like, you know, loss of blood will eventually slow you down, but it's like I would hate to be like finding out like, you know, like me becoming a new dad and then finding out that my kid doesn't feel pain. It's like, well, that's cool, but then it also kind of sucks like a lot.
Yeah. And then like I imagine like somebody my size, like I don't know how big you are, but I'm a big dude, tall guy.
I'm about 6 feet.
Feeling pain, that would be so dangerous. I would have probably definitely taken up like some kind of fighting career.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, because you would never lose.
That fucking
It'd be like the only thing that would stop you is your body quitting on you. Yeah,
I don't.
It would just be like your brain getting knocked loose, or like you fucking like you break your arm. It's like, oh, cool.
I'm gonna be like really punch drunk when I'm old, but like I would be fucking unstoppable otherwise.
Yeah, dude, you'd just be like a juggernaut, just like walking through, just like catching hands and being like, "Man, you bitch."
Have you ever done any martial arts?
I have not. I took like a free karate class at one of my friends' like dojos or whatever, but I was I don't know, 12. So it's about 18 years ago.
I've tried a lot of things for a short amount of times. Like I've done karate, aikido, taekwondo, and I've done Muay Thai. And Muay Thai, I really, really, really like Muay Thai. That for me is the best martial art out there. Teaches you how to use your feet, teaches you how to use your hands, and teaches you how to defend yourself. And like, it's not a martial art where like, hold on, come at me like come at me just a certain way. It's a martial art that teaches you to punch somebody, and then you can kind of get away from them actually. So
yeah, my one of my buddies,
like
my buddy,
Aikido,
that was the one that I wanted to look into.
Okay, so Aikido only taught me how to take a sword away from somebody and how to redirect somebody who's coming at me with a sword. That's all Aikido is really meant for. Originally it was a response to samurai swords, but it now is kind of out of date, and now it's more for like a show martial art, and that's fine.
Yeah, you like to. It's Steven Seagal martial arts is what I call Aikido.
Yeah, well, that's what Seagal does.
Perfect. So he just does like throw around shit. Yeah,
I would like to.
I'd like to do it, but like I'd like to get like absurdly good at it. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like that's the thing where like you learn it and then like you go out and you go out to a bar and then like one of your buddies starts a fight and you go no, check this shit out, and then you just like grab the dude and just like throw him over your shoulder and just like what up, ta-da.
It'd be cool to have that, because then you could get movie stuff. Those are the things that actors need. Because you don't actually hurt anybody.
No,
you're just redirecting.
It's just it's tumbling. It's like it's gymnastic karate.
Yeah, it's very good for that. And there's a couple of them, and judo's good, but judo's still it's got a little flourish to it. But judo people will fuck you up. Don't fuck with them. Don't
yeah, I mean, I don't really fuck with most people that know like any sort of martial art. I just kind of like.
If
I'm good.
rock a person in the face who only does Aikido, they're gonna be like, oh shit. They're gonna.
I couldn't redirect that.
Yeah, they're like, oh fuck. Ow.
It was a real
they've never been
fight.
hit in the face before.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. They've never been hit in the face. That's not what they do.
No.
They'll tell you that shit. They'll proudly be like, we don't do that here. And I'm like, that might be a problem, bro.
Yeah, man. Sorry. Like, I'm here to just, like, kick ass, dog. Like, my buddy Pete, who's I've had on the show, he does jujitsu, and every now and again, he's one of my coworkers. He'll come in with a fucking black eye and shit. Like, it's just like, all right, cool.
Does he do jujitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I'm...
Ground game or standing?
Oh, dude, I couldn't speak to that. I'll just say he does some form of jiu-jitsu, and yeah, I mean, like, I could.
The regular jiu-jitsu is like a standing to ground. If you want.
I know he does like a lot of like rolls and grapples and like holds and shit.
That's Brazilian.
Okay, then he does that. I guess I don't.
I think it is Brazilian.
Word.
They're slightly different. The people in Brazil learned from the people from Japan, and
I want to learn capoeira.
Just turned.
Because that shit's hilarious.
Capoeira looks cool as shit.
It does. It's so flowy and just like, hey, what's up, man? And
I was looking at that. I'm like, cool. My back would be fucked up real fast.
Yeah, you got to be real agile and limber to do fucking capoeira.
Yeah, it's dance fighting for
anybody. Yeah, which is why like all the guys that do capoeira look like some form of like Brazilian Fabio or something.
Yeah. Well, in Brazil they have scrima, which is the two sticks in your hand.
Okay.
Kind of like nunchucks, but without the chain.
Dope.
And they use those to practice fighting, but they use knives in the street if it's gang war, because they use it for gang fighting.
Okay, that's kind of metal. I'd like to learn that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. I think that would be sweet to have some eskrima sticks, because there's certain moves in like it teaches you how to use two knives at once as weapons.
Okay, that's pretty.
And even
metal.
without it, if you don't want to be lethal, you just want to have eskrima sticks. There are always two mop handles sticking around.
You could just grab two pieces of wood and beat the shit out of somebody with it.
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of cool. I've looked into it before. There's like standard like postures, is what they call them, but it's basically you're moving one arm one way and one arm the other way, and it's either way. If your opponent blocks, you're hitting them. So
okay.
It's kind of cool. It's a really neat martial art, and it's one of the martial arts that comes from South America too, which is also interesting.
Yeah, I like to watch weird, like obscure shit at like the end of the night. Like, not to say that martial arts is weird or obscure, because it's incredibly popular, but I like to watch. I like to watch like weird shit kind of at night, just to kind of like see what my brain will do with it. Because I remember like. One night I watched like 3 fucking Ip Man movies in a row, and then I had like the most metal dream of my entire fucking existence. So it's like, because I do that, or I'll watch like, what's actually oddly therapeutic is watching people play fucking Warhammer.
Really?
Like, if you just watch like a 45-minute game of people playing Warhammer 40k, it's actually like oddly therapeutic.
Like the dice version, right?
Like the one with like the figurines and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah, like you watch people play that shit, like it's like. That's weirdly, like, that's good to just kind of turn your brain off at the end of the day, because, like, you can't half watch Warhammer. Like, you have to just, like, either watch it or don't watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't pay attention for 5 seconds, you're gone.
I go to sleep every night now listening to The Simpsons. Because I used to, I love The Simpsons. I was a big Simpsons fan from way back. And back in the day, I used to watch it as a kid. And I had it on DVD, so I'd listen to it as I fell asleep. Now, I fall asleep so good to it.
Yeah, man. I mean, once like you get into like a rhythm of falling asleep to certain things, your brain just kind of like knows. Like, it's just like, hey, I heard like a theme song to this. Like, it's time to go to bed.
I've seen every episode so many times that, like, I kind of know what in my head I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it looks like, what they're doing, blah blah blah. Because I've been watching The Simpsons before I can remember because they've been around since like I've been born, basically. Yeah, and they're an amazing show. I know that they've kind of fallen off in recent years, and I make no excuses for that. But it's a show I love nonetheless.
No, dude, it's it's important to stand by things. It's like, I mean, I guess like you could say the same thing with me in South Park. Like I absolutely love South Park, but I haven't even seen like the last 2 fucking seasons because I just like haven't been interested. Bro. But like it's on Hulu. Like I might start watching this newer seasons tonight or something because I love South Park. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are fucking geniuses. I love those dudes.
My stepdad's been telling me it's good.
Book of Mormon was fucking hilarious. Like if you haven't seen their Broadway play, look up Book of Mormon. It's fucking incredible. Like
it is.
Just some of the song, like the songwriting just by itself is fucking hilarious. Like
especially if you're not familiar with the story of like Mormonism.
Especially if you're also not like familiar with like speaking. I don't know what language it is, but Hasadiga Ibawai. Like that song's hilarious, but that literally just translates to "fuck you, God." Like, and the whole song is just about like everybody in Africa having like AIDS and no food, and then they just like yell at God. Like, it's incredible.
Mormonism's a crazy one, man.
Dude, it absolutely is. Like, I don't remember. Did you and I talk about last podcast on the left? I believe I brought it up.
We did.
Did you listen to their Mormonism series? Yeah. It was like 6 episodes, dude. Yeah, it was
about Joseph Mormon. The last episode kind of lost me because it was completely disconnected.
Yeah,
Joseph Smith and all.
I think it was kind of a tie-up loose end episode kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh yeah, let's make this about crime, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one is fantastic.
Yeah, dude. Like,
you ever listen to Dan Carlin much?
Every now and again, I'll kind of like pop in and out.
Did you listen
like
to his Mongols episodes?
No.
His Mongol episodes like are amazing. It's
I'll have to check those out.
Look at what Chinggis Khan. Apparently, it's like we all say Genghis Khan, but it's pronounced Chinggis Khan. At least he clarifies on that. That's really good. And then his World War I thing is awesome as well. All right, let's do a number.
Cool. Let's get to the next one.
You don't like my phone. Okay. We're gonna go 3, 8, 9.
3, 8, 9. Who? Alright, 3, 8, 9. What's the best museum you've ever been to?
Okay, so I grew up in Virginia, so DC was not a far drive from me, so I'd go up there, and there is a Smithsonian Museum there, and more specifically, there's a room, and it's full with instruments, and these instruments are all from the 1800s or even later than that, so 1700s and back, and they are all on display. And then there's a so you can go look at them, and some of them, how on a violin there's like the scroll up top, there's like a little knot up top. Mm-hmm. Some of them have faces, intricately carved faces, and they look at you.
Dude, shit was so fucking metal, like not even so that long ago.
And it was so sweet. And so the whole room is filled with these incredibly old instruments. Every once in a while you'll see one of them's gone because they've gone to a concert somewhere to be played. And so they're still working. And that's so you go over to this other section, and there's this giant switchboard, and it's a lot of buttons, and each one of them is one of those instruments being played.
That's
and they're all playing a different song. And I found it's a sweet major in G. It's a song. It's a cello song, and it's like my favorite classical song. That I had never heard it until I found it on that switchboard, and like I fell in love with the song because of it. And I think it's a Bach song, but it's so soothing and it's very cool. And that museum was awesome. And not to like diminish this museum, but there's also a bunch of other museums right there. They're all Smithsonian's. They're all free. So if you're in DC, check them out. They're all kind of over there, nearish to the Washington Monument. You can see the Washington Monument from them.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I've been like through Washington D.C. when I was younger. I was going to South Carolina to visit my mother, and I popped through there. Like we stopped at the train station because I'm shout out being terrified of flying. Yeah, but I'd like to go back at some point, maybe when the country's like not so polarized, and it's like if I wear the wrong shirt, I'm gonna get beat to death in the streets. So I think like I'll chill. But I mean, like for me, I'd say like and it's kind of interesting that you brought up instruments because that's kind of sort of where mine's going. But I'm a huge fan of the Boston Science Museum. If you have a chance to get up to Boston, go to the Boston Science Museum, dude. It's a ton of fun. We took like school field trips and shit there, but for some reason, it's like the easiest thing, but it's like I think it's just because I have trash brain. I'm just like so easily amused by just like dumb shit that they have a staircase, and every time you step on the stairs, it plays a descending piano key. So if you run down the stairs, so cool. It's just like and it's like so cool. yeah. So like that was like the highlight for everybody who was going down the piano staircase, and it's like, and the cool thing is at the end of the museum too. Like when you're on your way out, it's like, oh, by the way, bum 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 bum.
That's so cool.
It's like neat little like take that with you.
We had a children's museum in Richmond, in Virginia, where I grew up at, and they had proof of like gravity basically, and it was a vacuum tubes. From one would fall a ball that was like heavy. This is like a stone ball, and another one where a feather would drop, and they would drop, and you would press the button, and they would drop at the same rate every time, and then they would get lifted back up. And it was like a machine that would show you that in a vacuum everything drops at the same rate.
Yeah, I'd like to see that experiment like done firsthand, where they say like if you drop a golf ball in a garbage truck off the Empire State Building, they'll fall at the same speed. Like I'd like to test that.
Yeah,
theory.
I'd like to see that, but that's probably not because I care so much about that. I just want to.
I just like to see a garbage truck fall like 100 stories
like,
and then just like fold into nothing.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, that'd be super metal, dude. Like just I don't know why somebody in the desert, like some rich motherfucker, hasn't just like bought a crane. Bought an old garbage truck. You can just find a golf ball. You don't even need to buy a golf ball. You just find a golf ball, and then just drop it and just see what happens. That's it.
Do you know what the Burj Al Khalifa is?
No.
It's that big ass building. It's in the United Arab Emirates. It's the biggest building in the world. It's like a mile tall.
Okay.
They shot some Fast and the Furious shit there.
Yeah, okay.
A place to drop a fucking dump truck from.
Hell fucking yeah.
Fucking boom.
That'd be fucking stupid. We should just like, I just want to start a YouTube channel just dropping dump trucks from high places.
Can't somebody just pay me like a lot of money to
like
drop
seriously, just buy me 5 dump trucks. Like there's no way I can't find 5 places to drop a dump truck that will not be interesting to people. Like, because literally I could just be, I dropped a dump truck 20 feet and people will be like, what? And they'll come in anyway. But if it's like, I literally dropped a fucking dump truck off of the tallest building in the world, like everybody's going to watch that video. Like everyone.
Yeah.
Like you're going like number one.
It would just be,
yeah.
And especially if you shot it with like slow-mo, like really, really good slow-mo.
Yeah. It would just evaporate the vehicle.
And it just collapses in on itself.
That would be
it may
so
start to fall
beautiful.
apart as it tumbles. Like I don't know. It might start to, you know what I mean? Like as it falls through the air, it's got to pick up some like wind resistance a little bit.
Yeah, at least something. Maybe put like some.
Cool.
It'd be.
I want it to be full of trash though.
It can't be. It can't be. But also, I will say this though: it can be full of trash, but the trash has to be picked up after. Don't be a fucking litter bug.
Or a cement truck. That
would be
still.
That might cause like a black hole if it hits the ground like hard enough and just like folds the fucking planet inside out.
It's gonna fuck up the plumbing, but it'll be fine. Everybody'll be fine. You can't flush the toilet for a few weeks.
Who gives a shit, man? You got to see a fucking cement truck fall fucking 400 stories.
What do you? I know you're complaining. There's no water and we're in the desert. It's fine.
But like, did you see that video? Like that shit was tight. Like, oh, it's so fucking good. But cool. All right, man. So actually, what we're gonna do right now is, this is another thing. Breaking after 5 fucking questions because your boy needs to get paid because your boy's broke. Your boy's broke. So we will be right back. But to y'all, it'll be like, y'all can skip the ad too. It's like 30 seconds. So if you got the 15-second thing, 2 hits, right back at it. I don't like to make my fans listen to my ads. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that ad, or I hope you didn't. I don't give a shit. But if you listen to it, thanks. I just made like a whole ass penny. So shout out you, and shout out your family. And I hope they're all doing well. But anyway, we can get back to the questions now, Joe, if you want.
All right, we're gonna go with 327.
327. How are you still similar to your younger self?
I still collect comic books. I've been collecting comics since before I can remember. I've always been a collector of something. When it wasn't comics, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon cards. And then I can come back to comics now more as an adult. Both me and my wife are into comics. We
There you go.
Podcast together, and so it's something that we bond over, and so that's how I'm still similar. I'm still into this. It still like interests me even now. And I think even more so I'm interested now.
Yeah, man, it's.
I was like, oh, this is neat, but I get really into it now.
Yeah, it's harder to. I feel like I've noticed that it's harder to just like keep a hobby now, especially with like how much shit there is to do, like how much like information we're just being handed like every minute we're awake. And like for me, like I've noticed, like sadly, I think I've come to like the end of my video game career at like 30. I just I fired up a video game. I don't remember what it was. It was something like just like small and just it was fucking. I don't know if you've ever heard of Brawlhalla, but it's basically just Super Smash Brothers. But it's just that's really, I'll just say it like that. But basically, it was that, and I played 2 online matches and I won both of them. But then afterwards, I was like, this feels stupid. Like I feel like I could just be like reading a book or just like doing. Literally, and so now it's like I turn my Xbox on when I get home, and then I immediately just go to YouTube or some other thing to just kind of be a passive observer instead of like a invested person in it. It's like I can just bullshit and just kind of like decompress on YouTube, whereas, fucking excuse me. I feel like video games, like they're good for me if I need something to do, but like I can't bring myself to just like play them anymore, which is kind of a bummer. But I mean, I would say I still have a pretty active imagination. I'd say that's probably how I keep my youth, is just like making up shit in my head, which is just like pretty. I need to do it. Like it's part of what keeps me fucking sane.
Like, stay imaginative.
You can't lose your imagination, man. Like you can't just shut off the right side of your brain. Like it needs both sides. Important. Absolutely. You have to do something. Like, I'm not saying you have to do something right now. If you don't want to do anything, dude, like Chromeo said,
no,
there's
like,
no, but it's
overall,
like, exactly,
your
like,
whole life.
Draw something, like paint something, fucking build something.
Creative endeavor is always a noble endeavor.
One thing, one thing to contribute, where even just one person sees it and goes, yo, that's fucking sweet. You gave something for that person. Yourself. Exactly. And even if it's just you, just being like, I like this. It's like I have my own art hanging on the wall in my studio.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and it's like shit I'm proud of.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd say definitely keeping an active imagination is how I try to stay closer to my younger self anyway. Yeah. But cool, man. All right, well, we can move to the next one if you want. We got 4 left.
All right, we got 198.
198. Oh boy, so many pages now. Oh, God. Oh, fuck you, 198. You fucking. What is something in your life you will never apologize for? See, I like these fucking questions.
When somebody's complaining that it's too cold in the room and I have control of the temperature, I'm not apologizing for that.
There you go.
I like it to be cold.
I like chilly, dude.
I like hot.
I like hoodie and shorts. That's like prime weather for me.
Nobody wants to deal with me when I'm hot.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
want to deal with me when I'm hot.
No, dude. That's I hate summertime. Like being hot is so fucking uncomfortable. Whereas like cold, it's like, oh, I'm like my feet are cold. Like put on more socks.
I don't want to apologize when somebody's doing too cold. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I used to be a manager at a call center, and I would get very, very fucking hot because there was a lot of computers and a very small room. And some people are like, oh, it's cold in here. I'd be like, I don't know, they won't let me touch the thermostat. Yet I did have a key, and I loved how cold it was in there. I got to be like the king of like feeling good.
There you go.
And working at a call center is soul sucking enough. I don't need to be hot while I'm doing it.
Yeah, you don't need to make a miserable experience even worse by just
because while I was a manager, I was still taking phone calls. Like it sucked. I was like taking phone calls, and I was solving everybody else's problems.
Yeah, it sounds like my wife's last job. She just like she was like kind of a manager, and then all of a sudden it would just be like, we need you to do like 4 jobs at one time. Cool, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
And like that was the end of it.
And they wanted me to bilk old people out of money. Basically, it was a radio advertisement like, well, we have this cure-all drug that'll make you feel like a 30 again, and you could just pay the shipping, you can have it. Well, what it is, it sets them up for recurring shipments. And so
yeah, that's how a True Green will get you, by the way. If you're ever, that's something I guess I'll take from, because one of my questions in the book is what's something that only you in your line of work knows, and I always go back to True Green, and I tell people, and I'm going to start telling more people if it comes up on the show. If you sign up for True Green, folks, you get 1 free treatment, and then you can cancel. So you can get your yard to look nice for about a month. But just remember, if you don't cancel, and even if you're not home, they tell you to treat the person's yard. I did that time and time again, where I didn't know if the customer actually wanted our service, but I went to their house and I provided the service and we charged them for it. So
that's crazy. Be
aware, True Green is fucking stingy. So if you use True Green, make sure you don't get fucked by them, because fuck True Green. And also fuck True Green for being like, yo, it's mid-August. It's 98 degrees out. You better be wearing long sleeves, boots, and fucking heavy pants, motherfucker. Because if you even roll the sleeves up, we're going to fire your ass. And it literally got to the point where I was drinking a gallon of water and then also pouring a whole gallon of water on myself throughout the day just to not die in some rich person's backyard who's just too lazy to walk around with some Roundup. It's fucking absurd, dude. But let's see, something in my life I'll never apologize for. I guess I'll have to say, honestly, I guess it just goes back to the last thing, but I'm just gonna say that staying creative and just kind of doing my own thing. I love my wife and I love my friends and shit, but at the end of the day, I wanted to do this podcast and I'm fucking doing it. There's another podcast that I'm I'll just say I'm a co-host of, because it's fucking 5 people, but it's all about the Patriots, and it's I love that show, but I don't even know if the NFL season's going to happen this year. Yeah. And it's I wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't, and honestly, I don't really want it to, but it's I needed something else to do, and I was well, let's just get stoned and brainstorm, and then this show just kind of fell out of my mouth one day.
Yeah, and the format's nice too. And
I try to keep it
something that you can continuously do for a while.
I just try to
people back too.
That's the thing is I've already told people that I've had on I can just have you on next year, and we can just in 4 months, it really doesn't matter. Just do whatever the hell I want, because this was supposed to be the season 2 premiere, and it's you know what it is? Yeah. It's just fucking episode 15. It's I'm just gonna keep it all as the same season.
That's what
I don't need to break it down like that.
Yeah, I try not to do. I never tried to do seasons.
I'll stick with just I'm gonna. The only reason I have to do it now is because that I started doing it. If I change it and start putting a 0 in the season thing on Anchor and where it distributes it, it'll start putting my newer episodes in a weird spot. So, but yeah, I'd say that's the thing that I would never apologize for, is pursuing creative things.
Yeah, for sure.
But cool, man. All right, well, we got 3 left, so if you want to get after the next one.
39.
39. 39. Ah, this one's fucking cool. What's a piece of tech that you hope is invented in your lifetime?
I want smart contact lenses. So it'll be your smartphone.
It's like a HUD.
I guess what's HUD? I don't know.
Like a heads-up display,
yeah, but I want my phone. I want all the functionality of my phone, but in contact lenses.
So you want the iPhone from Futurama, where they nail it into your skull?
Yeah, kind of, but I don't want them to be beaming fucking commercials into my head and shit.
No, I hear you.
I'd like to be able to do that, and I'd like to be able to because I feel at that point, making a phone call is just fucking telepathy.
Yeah, you just think of someone and then you're just hello.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the hurdle to that is getting sound, but then again, I wear wireless headphones now, so it won't bother me in the future either.
That's the thing, is if you had to do AirPods and some contacts, I think people will deal with it.
A pair of Skull Candy.
There you go. I miss my Skull Candies.
They were $40. They were fucking awesome.
I miss my old Skull Candies, man.
Don't let somebody rip you off.
No, God. I mean, dude, the headphones I'm listening on right now, they don't even have a brand on them. I'm half certain I bought them at either the dollar store or Five Below. So
it just so happens that currently all of my headphones are skull candy. I had the ones I'm talking to you on right now. These are plug-in. They plug into my microphone, and these are skull candies, and they're wired. And then I have a pair of wireless ones that go over the head like these, and then I have just the earbuds that are skull
those
candy.
are the ones that I always had.
Yeah, and they're nice for charging. Like, they charge really nice. They charge for a long time, and that little cube that I have stays charged for a long time too, which is what charges them. So I can charge while I'm walking around in my pocket.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's definitely a sick function.
And I can choose to use just one of them if I want to.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had like that possibility with those. I've been looking into like wireless headphones and shit lately, and it's like I'm like
they're expensive.
That's the thing. It's like I just can't talk myself. Like, dude, I'm doing this show on a Chromebook. I got the cheapest laptop possible. Well, I didn't get this laptop. I was given this laptop, but it's the cheapest possible laptop. I'm using the cheapest possible, like, decent microphone. I have just like a Snowball, which I mean I love. It's great. It makes me sound substantially better than my fucking laptop microphone. But like, this is the most low budget shit. Like, I have a whiteboard over my computer, and it's just like a reminder list for like me to talk about like my socials and stuff at the end of the show. And I was thinking, like, man, I want to get like a nice whiteboard and all this other shit. And then I went to the dollar store this past weekend to get like some dog toys and shit. And I saw a fucking $1 whiteboard, and I was like, sold. And I just fucking pinned it to my wall.
But a whiteboard is nice. It's a utility kind of thing to that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's good to have around. You know, it's like, because now I just like, if I can't think of like, for some reason, like one of my social accounts, I just look right up at it and be like, oh, you want to follow me on this? Well, here's the name for it. Okay, so for me, this is one question that I don't remember if I've answered it yet on the show, but the second this question came up, I immediately thought of this. The one piece of tech that I would love to fucking see invented in my lifetime is a machine that will catalog and save your dreams for playback so you can watch them the following day. Just be like, because you always have that sick fucking dream, and then you just forget the whole fucking thing. Because, like, the second your brain wakes up, it just goes like, oh, fuck all that.
I feel like dreams are like drugs, whereas somebody can describe them to you and you can see it used in a movie, but I don't think it is going to live up to the actual experience of, like, the dream playing. Like, I would like to be able to remember, like,
I would rather,
what's going on in that weird dream. But
see,
like,
I wouldn't mind seeing a bad dream, like a dumb dream, though, just to see, like, well, that was fucking stupid. Because then I would just laugh at my subconscious. One of those ones where I'm like,
I gotta stack these beans up and they keep falling over, but I don't know why. And then I'm being made to do it by Nancy Reagan. Like, dude,
I had a Facebook memory come up like a couple weeks ago. And it was from like a couple years ago, and I share it every time it comes up because it's the funniest fucking thing to me. But it was a Facebook status I posted. It was posted like early in the morning, and I had the stupidest dream of my life where literally it was just me walking, and I was like at a person's house, and I found a cooler, and I opened the cooler, and the cooler was full of dry ice, and I literally vividly remember going, well, fuck, that's cold. And then I woke up. That was the dream. I just went, fuck, that's cold. And then, like, my brain's like, we're done. Like, okay. Like, we're just going to pull the plug there. We're not going to expand on this at all. We're just, like, there's dry ice. It's cold still. All right, moving on. So ridiculous, man. But I think a dream projector would be an interesting kind of thing. Just to, like...
Or just watching other people.
That would be cool, too. A piece of tech to watch, like, inside another person's mind when they're asleep. That'd be fucking cool.
That'd be weird.
Sweet. All right, man.
Share dreams. Share like Inception. I'm describing Inception now. But
it's within a dream. Within a dream.
It's a dream inside of a dream, goddammit.
Inside of a simulation. Inside of another dream. Inside of a Taco Bell KFC. Yeah. Oh, man.
That's crunchy.
Dude, I love... Have you seen the Inception episode of South Park?
I believe I have.
Yeah, they make like I just love like the jokes where it's just like there's one guy explaining it, and then there's one guy in the background just going like dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh, I love that episode.
I've
so
seen
fucking
all
much.
of them up to a certain point. I've only missed like the last 2 or maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah, okay, so it sounds like you probably fell off when I fell off. Like the last season I remember watching is the one where like Mr. Garrison bemes president, and he kills the real witch. I think is the latest episode I've seen. Is when like they go to that Jack and Coke party. It's just...
I haven't seen that.
That's the one with the witches. That's what they call the witch party. It's a Jack and Coke party, and they just drink whiskey and snort cocaine. Fuck, fantastic. But all right, man, cool. So we got 2 left.
All right, we're gonna go with 206.
206. Yeet. Where are you at, motherfucker? It's getting dark in here. What do you call your evening meal? Dinner or supper?
Dinner.
Dinner, perfect.
Yeah, supper is like something people used to say in Virginia, and I'd be like, it doesn't sound appetizing. You know?
No,
what I mean?
it sounds like you're eating like something off of like a wet cloth.
We're gonna have supper, which sounds to me like the blandest food ever.
Yeah, it sounds like it's always just gonna be like oat bran and just like sadness.
Well, that's what my fucking great grandma used to call it, supper. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that also is like an exclusively old person term. Like I don't hear most like people, especially around our age, calling it supper because like we grew up with people calling it dinner. You know, my parents always refer to it as dinner.
Makes sense, and it's what all the restaurant. They don't. There's no restaurant out there. It's like we have a supper menu. I'd be like, I'm leaving this place.
Like, you don't need that menu. Like you just make a dinner menu. Like I'll check that out, but
I don't think so. Whack.
And I feel like the supper menu is only available from like 2 to 3:30. It's just like
there's no salt used on the supper menu.
Oh god, there's no seasoning.
Sodium free.
There's no seasoning. It's just it's tasteless.
It's bland. It's like eating air.
Keeps you regular though, which is really all that matters.
It's like stewed carrots.
Ugh, that just made me sad. I've been I've been like off and on hungry today. Like I've only consumed a granola bar and a half a bag of kettle chips. And like when I say half a bag, I mean like half a snack bag. So like probably about 12 chips and a granola bar. And it's like I think I'm hungry, and then the second I like arc up the nerve to like go get food or something, I'm just like, I'm not fucking hungry anymore. Like it's dumb.
Before I talked to you, days before I talked to you even, I had to stop eating solid food because one of my molars got to hurting so bad. And then yesterday they removed it. And now I can have solid food again. And when I ate solid food yesterday, and I had sushi for the first time in like forever, but also it was the first solid food I had in forever. It was the best thing I've ever eaten. Sushi it was so good because I had been living off of like soup, and that was it. And I am so tired of soup. I don't ever like soup that much anyways because it makes me fucking hot to eat.
Yeah, man, it's just like soup is a cold weather kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. Like if it's really cold outside, then you can convince me like, yeah, maybe some soup would be nice right now.
Yeah, man, like you just got in from like snow blowing or some shit, and someone's like, yo, I made clam chowder. It's like, get me a fucking bowl of that.
But it's 95 degrees.
Yeah, it's like I just got done mowing the lawn and I'm gonna have a heat stroke. Like, yo, you want some tomato soup? Like, do you want to be held underwater?
Not to brag, but I don't have to mow the lawn because we have a landlord.
I miss those days, man. I really. That was like the first thing. Yeah, dude, that's the one thing I miss about like. It's like becoming a homeowner is great because like if I just wanted to like crash my car into my house, like there's nothing stopping me.
Fuck it.
But
stop you?
It's just like with the first. I remember like after like living in this house for like 10 days, I looked at the yard and I went, oh no, fuck me. I'm like, I forgot everything about like this.
Cutting grass, I'm pissed.
It's brutal.
I'm hoping though that I'll live in a neighborhood with kids and I'll be like, hey, anybody want $20?
That's the thing is like I cannot like wait for this kid to grow up so I can just be like, yo, man, guess what? I'm never mowing the fucking lawn again.
Yeah.
At least until you move out. Yeah. Dude, I hate like landscaping is one of my least favorite things to do.
Yeah. I've done it before professionally, and it's the worst.
No,
it's
thank you.
Backbreaking and soul crushing.
Yeah, it just sounds miserable. It's like, hey man, you just want to be like taking care of rich people's yards and like so they can look down on you, but like, that's why I didn't like working for True Green. It was basically landscaping without like all the cool machinery. It was just literally you would walk around with a hose and you just spray stuff on people's yards, and that was the job. And it was fucking terrible. But all right, man, so cool.
I've seen the trucks out. I've seen the green trucks.
They're definitely out, and they're definitely making money, but they're making money in a stingy, shitty way. So again,
I know.
To harp back to part 1 or maybe part 2. I don't remember when we asked this question and when I brought up True Green before, but fuck True Green again. So 2 times in 1 episode, guys. All right, man, cool. We got 1 left, so if you want to get after that.
Okay, let me hit the generate button. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
62.
62.
We didn't do that very right.
No. I write down all the I write down all the numbers. Yeah, I write down all the numbers to make sure that people don't pick the same ones.
Cool.
This is like, because I also do that in case guests come back on the show. It's the same notebook
find
that
out
I
I'm
use.
a fucking liar.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't repeat the same answer.
All right, this one. What game have you spent the most time playing?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, see. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Many man hours doing it. I got really, really good at it.
I was more of a Magic guy.
Yeah, I liked the looks of Magic, but I never really got into Magic that way. I did the tournaments and all. I won a trophy once, the Millennium Puzzle Trophy. They gave this away at the tournaments and stuff when you would when you won so many tournaments. And then I went to regionals a couple times. Did that. That was great. I had a lot of fun. It was. I'm not a. I used to be more in the video games when I was younger, and back then I would have probably said Ocarina of Time on a video game wise, if that's more what you're looking for. Because I
mean, this is just kind of like I think I wrote this down because of how kind of like, I'm not gonna say vague, but open ended it is. It just says game.
Yeah.
So it could be like,
yeah.
I played football for 15 years. Like, great. Well, that's cool. Like for me.
So if somebody out there is like, oh, I was expecting a video game, it's Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
I've spent a long time playing that game, and I loved playing the game, and I've played it I don't know how many times. Plus, I mean, it was an N64, is what I had, and, like, I had to play what I had. Back in the day, you didn't have, like, 6,000 games. You had,
yeah, that's the thing. I didn't have an external hard drive on my my fucking PlayStation 1, which I'm actually looking at right now. What's up, Doug? How you doing? Yeah, I'd say for me, if we're going video game, I think last time I checked, there's you've probably heard of it. It's called Ark Survival Evolved. It's this really weird game where you start on. There's a couple different maps now, but when I started playing it, it was still kind of like not in beta, but it was like a work in progress kind of game where they had enough done to put it out, but not enough to charge $60 for it. But basically, the premise of the game is you wake up on an island and you have this like thing implanted in your arm, like in your left wrist, and you're just wearing boxers, and otherwise you're completely naked, and you have to make tools, build houses, but then the island itself is inhabited by dinosaurs. Okay. And it gets to the point where you can tame and then start using the dinosaurs to kind of help
like
you
Flintstone style?
Pretty much, dude. So when I started playing this game, I was basically like the architect. Basically, the guys would just be like, yo, I want a house built fucking crazy. And I'd be like, all right, I'll do that shit. And my thing was going around and collecting a lot of the materials. So my buddy ended up taming me like a woolly mammoth, which is really good for collecting wood. And then... Is
this, are we talking about, is this a tabletop game or...
No, this is a video game. I have,
video game.
Shit, yeah, I've got like 700 plus hours logged into this shit. And
is it computer, PC, or?
It's a PC, Xbox. I believe it's also on PlayStation. It's out there, but it's super fun, man. At least it was. I mean, now it's more of like a chore to play that game. I'd say that.
Well, that's
also,
like most games at some point become a chore because you have to farm or you have to do some kind of.
It's like I love grinding, but at the end of the day, I'd rather just kind of like I like Rocket League. You pick it up, you play it for 7 minutes, and then you put it down, and then like you just jump back in whenever you want. But shit. All right. What does this say? All right, cool. So actually, what I like to do at the end of the shows is actually just pick like a dealer's choice question, kind of like a last little surprise question for you. But it's one that I've kind of, because I like to do it especially with people I don't know personally, because like you and I have been like you've been on my podcast and I've been on your show, but like we've never shook hands, we've never met face to face. And so I try to get like a read on people and try to find like a question I think that their answer would be interesting to. And I wrote down, looks like 158. Yeah, this one looks like fun. If you were a bartender, what famous person would you like to serve?
Ooh, shit. Doesn't matter, live or dead.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so it's like there's a couple people that come to mind. Ernest Hemingway would be cool because he was a prolific drinker, but also an interesting storyteller. So I think talking to him would be wild. I bet he'd have like a lot of great stories. Nikola Tesla, I don't think he was much of a drinker, but it'd be cool to talk to him.
It'd be fun to pick his brain for sure.
Yeah, Einstein.
Yeah, that would be. I feel like that would be a little out of my league though. Like,
oh, it would be too, but it would just be interesting to like.
I'd like to listen to him. Like I'd like to listen to him talk to somebody else.
I bet you he would think we were interesting because we probably have a better understanding of general relativity than like somebody of his time.
Yeah, I mean we have come a long way, so I could definitely understand like him wanting to learn more about us.
Dilation if you're trying to go too fast and stuff like that. And you could discuss that, and he would be like, okay, because you have a slight understanding, over this. I think
I would definitely have to tell him to kind of tamp down like the big words and be like, like I'll understand most of what you say.
He did really good about that in his original like thinking stuff. It was very
easy to digest.
It was like because he compared it to like relativity to something to do with like sledding. That's how he described it.
I'll have to read that. I'll have to read that.
I'm not the one to tell you that story, but there's a story that he explains how it's like sledding. You go so fast and you see how everything's around you seems like it's standing still because you're going so fast. And he was like, "Oh, okay, I get that."
So, yeah, I'll have to read up some more like Einstein shit. That's one like thinker that I still haven't kind of like delved into because like for me, I just feel like Einstein's been kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not really like that. It's just like he's just been like kind of like he's not a. It's like people don't treat him like he was a real person. He's just kind of like this.
Oh yeah.
Now he's like a pop figure icon, like where he's just like I went to one of my stops today, and I deliver cigarettes and stuff as like that's my day job, and I went to a smoke shop to deliver their order, and it's your standard smoke shop. It's got a bunch of stuff to smoke weed and yada yada yada, and they had these big fucking mouse pads by the case where they sell like bongs and shit. And one of these mouse pads is hanging, and it was a fucking big mouse pad, and I'm looking at it, and it's a picture of Einstein, and he's holding his hand out, and in his hand is a nug of weed, and there's like this weird kind of spirally vortex around it, and then doves flying out, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, who the fuck is that for?
I don't know. Like I saw, like I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, like I smoke weed, but that's really dumb. I was like, what's with the dove? And then he's also like, the background's just space. So it's like it's okay, Einstein handing you weed in space with doves.
Space. Einstein in space or
big bird guy too. Big bird and weed guy.
You know that about him? Okay, yeah.
Like everybody didn't know. Like everybody, Jamie, pull this up. Like you didn't fucking know.
This guy's a fucking idiot. You can tell me you don't know about the doves.
Pull it up, Jamie. Fucking pull it up.
We wouldn't have science without doves.
You fucking like birds. Like birds even exist. Oh God. All right, man. Well, dude. Firstly, I want to say thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
It was great.
It was a really good time. I'm glad that this show went as well as I thought it would. I'm glad that the one we did was awesome too. Yeah, dude, and I can't wait for it to come out. And when it does, I'll absolutely be sharing the fuck out of it because it was a fun ass show, and I will share every single episode. I will share the entire podcast itself.
Yeah, man. Same here. I'm excited to pump this one and all the.
Yeah, I was actually just about to give you your little pedestal, man. I don't know if you're familiar with Hot Ones, but this camera, or this camera. Tell the people what you got going on.
All right. So you can follow me personally on Twitter at Joseph_Lawhorn. That's LAWHORN. And if you would like to follow me, or the podcast rather, on Twitter, it's Zero Super Weed on Twitter or Zero Supervision Weed on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So for me, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Tired Creature. Creatures with a K instead of a C. Same handle on Instagram if you want to follow me there. There's some other handles that I have here that I'm not going to mention right now. Also, if you feel like it, I'm kind of working on a YouTube channel. And when I say YouTube channel, I mean I'm going to upload the podcasts in a still picture to YouTube. Yeah. And you can listen to it while like you do laundry or whatever. So I know a lot of people do that, so I figured that would be the easiest place to kind of just drop that. So like I said, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube if you want. Also, please rate, review, subscribe to the show, because honestly, this is the main part of it. I don't really give a shit about the YouTube channel. I care more about the podcast, obviously. But again, dude, thank you for coming on, man. I can't wait to fucking, hang out again sometime and, let's talk about some more weird shit. But again, thank you guys very much for listening. I love you all very much. I think I might have a show scheduled for Friday. It's still kind of up in the air, but let's tentatively say next episode should be out Friday evening. I love you guys very much, and I'll talk to you then.